like to welcome everybody to the beautiful country of Ireland, where back in August I decided to spend a week visiting. And my first stop was in the town of Athlone, where I was on a mission to visit what claims to be the world's oldest pub. And that place is Sean's Bar, which not only holds the title for being the oldest bar in Ireland, but also the oldest bar in the world. So I thought that would be a perfect first spot to stop and grab some food. Okay, small hiccup. They only do drinks and not food, and I am starving. So I'm gonna go find a place to eat and then go back there. All right, I grabbed some food at a place called Roots. It was delicious. I had some fish pie, and I feel 10 times better now that I got some food in me. I'm gonna go back to Sean's Bar, have a Guinness, and then continue on to Galway, because I kind of want to make it there before, it's super late in the day. It's the big old castle right in the middle of town. It's pretty cool. First pint of Guinness in Ireland. That's really good. Okay, so that place was really cool. So the bartender told me that the oldest part is basically on display in there with the Guinness World Record certificate to the side. And they found it while they were renovating the building. And they tore down the wall, and behind that wall was another wall. And they determined that that wall was basically there since 900 AD, or give or take a few years. So that is what makes it the oldest bar in Ireland and the oldest bar in the world. Very small piece, but I guess it still counts. And the Guinness was very good. That was some very good beer. So yeah, that was definitely worth the pit stop and grab some food. And now I'm gonna continue on to Galway, because that is where my trip officially begins, I guess. But look at this town. Look how nice it is. This is awesome. All right, so I finally made it to Galway after what seems to be way longer time than I anticipated. But I made it, checked into the hostel, and now I'm just gonna wander around town a little bit because I spent all day in a plane and in a car. So I think I'm just gonna, like I said, wander, and then probably grab some food and maybe a beer and then head to sleep because I'm pretty damn tired. So I'm just gonna wrap this up right here, and I will see you in the morning. Goodbye. Good morning, everybody. So I am outside of Galway, and I am driving over to Connemara National Park, where I wanted to do a little bit of a hike. We'll see if I do the longer version or the shorter version. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, driving in Galway is a pain in the ass, and I kind of I'm wishing a little bit that I would have stayed slightly outside of it, because I'm planning on leaving it most of the time. I kind of wanted that downtown experience, but now I'm just okay, this is a little too much, Driving through the countryside in a new country is probably one of my favorite experiences, because I find that this is the best way to kind of find the out-of-the-way places that you kind of don't think about visiting. Driving through this part of Ireland led me to a quaint little coffee spot while I was looking for a spot to drink coffee, and found this beautiful little garden. I just drove about 15 minutes out of my way to grab some coffee, and I saw there was this spot here. It's like the walled garden castle place. So I was like, okay, that sounds kind of cool. We're gonna stop here and see. I feel severely underdressed because I don't have my hiking pants. Look at this. This is beautiful here. How pretty. My mom would love this. She loves flowers and gardens. Okay, I can probably say that this is one of the prettiest places I've had a coffee in. There's the shop right there. This beautiful garden all around. So this is worth the 15-minute detour. All right, I arrived at Connemara National Park, and I am going to hike Big Diamond Hill, which I think is that guy up there. So it's a very short, like 2.2 mile hike. So it's a big old loop, so it shouldn't be too hard. But looks like the elevation gain is quite a lot. So we'll see how it goes. I'm very lightly dressed because it's kind of warmish cool here. It's in the 60s, but I don't know, I just warm up so quick. So waterproof jacket should be enough. Anyways, I'm gonna check out the visitor center and then hit the trail. I just passed Little Diamond Peak. I think that's where it is. You can see the rock right there. And now it's time to go all the way up there. The mountain's starting to look more and more intimidating the closer to it I get. Alright, starting to get a little chilly closer to the top, a lot windier. I have to put on my windbreaker here. But for a short hike, it is not an easy one, because this last stretch right here is absolutely grueling. It's basically like doing a stair climber the entire time. Look at that. I'm right there. We're almost to the top. Look at this view. It's beautiful on this trail. Whew. All right, time to keep on moving. Ooh, that's brisk. I believe right there, that right there is the final stretch. So we're almost at the top. We're sort of all the way down there. And we have made it all the way to the top. Oh, whew. I'm gonna take a small break up here, hopefully hide from the wind on the other side of these rocks, because I can barely talk, and I don't even know if you can hear me, but that was a hell of a good hike. Okay, so I made it back down from my hike, and I didn't film much on the way down because I ran into, or kind of talked to this lovely Irish couple, and they were just telling me all sorts of things, or just give me recommendations, suggestions on things to do, where to stop and eat, what to check out and stuff, both today and in the coming week. So it was very nice chatting with them and just getting to know more about just the country. And so I didn't end up filming too much, but I'm back down now. I'm grabbing some food at the little cafe here at the visitor center. This is my number. I'm a horse guy. It's Ken. Anyways, I'm gonna grab some food and then I am going to just continue my drive from this morning. I'm gonna make a giant loop and then stop in a town the name of which I cannot pronounce, but because the wife of the couple, she recommended me a couple of places there because that's where she grew up, and so I'm gonna stop there on the way back and see how it is. So I'm really excited for that, but for now I still need something to eat. I spent the rest of my evening driving down to the Atlantic coast, past some quaint Irish villages before making it back up to the town that the Irish couple recommended I stop by and grab some food in this cute little thatch-roofed restaurant. I had grabbed some fish and chips and some beer, and then headed back to Galway to get ready for the next day. Good morning. Welcome to day 3, but second full day in Ireland. And today I am flying out to an island called Inishmore. And I think you can actually see it. It's just way out there in the distance. But these little planes right here. So I had to get up super early, drive out to this little airport about 40 minutes from Galway. And in about 15 minutes, I will be on one of those. I'm going to spend most of my day on that island because everyone recommends that's basically how much time you need there. But it's an island, it's part of a chain of islands just off the coast of Ireland near Galway, and it is supposed to be just full of ancient Irish history and some beautiful spots. So I'm very excited to see it. This one I had multiple people recommend, and if you go pretty much to any Irish itinerary, this island's recommended on there, so figured I'd give it a shot and check it out. So let's go take a small little flight. I'd like to welcome everybody to the island of Inishmore. It's a quaint little place just off the coast of mainland Ireland, and the best way to get around here is on a bicycle. So I am going to go rent one. The first location I stopped at turned out to be a little bit of a dud, so I continued on to my next stop, which was a fort overlooking basically the edge of the island.
and the bike really helped me get around the island, so I was very happy with that decision.
Okay, we got to our next stop. That is Dunloe and Blarney. I don't know, but it is another fort, ruins of another fort, and from here I'm gonna have to walk a little bit to get to it, but I'm excited to see how it looks because online it looked pretty awesome. It's only €5 for one adult ticket to in here, and the rest of the way I'm gonna have to walk over to the ruins. So shouldn't take too long. We'll see how it is. Okay, I made it to the fort. The rest of it is right behind me, but look at these cliffs. I'm normally not scared of heights, but this makes me nervous. I'm too scared to move the phone any further from the edge because I don't want to drop it because it's never coming back otherwise. But this is still pretty cool though. There's not even a guardrail. Look at this. It's guarding the side you can't fall off of, but on the edge, absolutely nothing. So, okay, so you're on your own. Okay, so at that part you can kind of go to the edge and you see there's a little bit of room there. Look at this. This is just straight down. That's a little scary. I don't think the camera can do justice to how tall those cliffs are, and it's a bit scary being right there on the edge, especially no guardrails, nothing. You're just on your own. That was really cool though. I'm gonna go up into the actual fortress now before heading back down, and then circling back to town because I gotta meet the shuttle for the airport at 3:45.
They know what it means. No, they don't. You know what it means in French. It's just
yeah, going down.
Now, I'm no expert on Stone Age warfare, but I would say that this is a pretty defensible position. Yeah. I bet these guys could hold out for a while.
Once I had my fill of the fort and being on the cliff's edge, I decided it was time to move on to my next destination. I was a little pressed for time at this point because I spent a little bit more time than I expected to at this fort just because it was so cool to see. So I kind of had to narrow down what else I would see. So moving on to our next destination, an old ruin of a church.
Okay, I got to the next historic site, and this is the Seven Churches. Some ruins, old churches. I love ruins, they're a lot of fun. An old graveyard. So I'm just gonna take a quick walk around here before heading back to towards the main village and towards the other side of the island. Some of the gravestones here, they're from like the 1700s or older. So it's kind of neat. I'm just trying to make sure I tread carefully here because I don't want to necessarily step anybody's grave, even if they have been dead for a long time. We'll respect it. Let them rest in peace.
Fearful of potentially angering some spirits and walking on the graveyard, I decided it was time to head towards my final destination, which was the Black Fort. And this one I was really excited for.
Okay, currently I'm walking towards the Black Fort, and I was hoping to see this and then the cliffs of Anar, which are over there, and they look like they're close on the map, but they are not. In fact, to get to those you have to go all the way back into town and then back up. So I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to do both of them, because I got about an hour left and I still have to go return the bike and then meet the shuttle that'll take me back to the little airport. And getting up here was also fairly rough because the road is not paved, it's just full-on gravel and very coarse and harsh gravel. I was worried I'd break my rental bike, but I made it up and kind of just parked the bike and then just walked the rest of the way, which is what I'm doing now, to see the Black Fort. I hope it was worth it because getting up here was definitely trickier than all the other places. So if you're planning on visiting Inishmore, expect to walk a fair bit of expect to walk a pretty good amount, because even though they do have hop on hop off shuttle buses, which I kind of wish I would have done instead of renting a bike, because the tour guide like talks about the islands. I was like, oh, that would have been kind of neat. But we're here now. We're at the Black Fort to see what it looks like, and then we'll head back into town and back on the plane. And here we are at the Black Fort. It's a big old pile of rocks, a wall, and on the other side it just keeps going until, well, not the wall, but it's just a clearing, goes to the cliff. I don't want to climb over the wall just because, one, I don't want to accidentally break anything because this is a historical site. Now I made it up to the other side of the wall after all, because there's a little opening right here, but this is inside the Black Fort. And if I had more time, I'd probably just sit and chill here for, 20 minutes or so. Just kind of take in the view, take in the scenery, but fortunately I don't have enough time for that. But let's get that drone up real quick. Okay, I made it back to the shuttle. My chain fell off on the bike, and my tire started losing air pressure, so I basically had to walk the entire thing back into town. Luckily it was pretty close, and the shuttle driver waited for me to return my bike and then get on so I missed my flight. So that was a less than successful end to my Inishmore adventure, but it was still a really cool island to see. But for now, I'm heading back to Galway. I am very sweaty and very gross. I'm gonna go back to the hostel and shower, and then I have some very special plans for dinner, which I will loop back to in a minute. And I am back in Galway, and packed up some stuff in the hostel because I am gonna try and leave tomorrow super early in the morning, so got all the stuff ready to go so I can make the smallest amount of noise possible and not wake people up. Anyways, I'm back in Galway, and my plan for dinner is I am going to a Michelin star restaurant, which is something that I have been wanting to do for a while because I was obsessed with Chef's Table at one point and thought it would be really cool to kind of go and eat food, not for, to fill up, but for kind of like the experience that you get. Now, I'm not going to film this part of the vlog probably just because I don't really want to. I just want to be there, be present in the moment and enjoy it as much as I can. Maybe sneak a photo or two in there if that's not frowned upon. We'll see. But I am super excited for this because it's kind of an experience, and it's like the biggest thing I probably splurged on this trip is this dining experience. Normally I would never think of spending that much money on food just at one place. So yeah, I'm super excited, and we'll see how it is. And then afterwards, probably hit some pubs. And the city looks beautiful at night. And there's so many pubs that are just completely lit up, like in a really cool way. So I'm gonna grab the camera and try to get some pictures of the city before leaving tomorrow. So, anyways, yeah, that's kind of wrapping up day 3 here for a minute, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
My morning started off with a little bit of coffee and doing some sightseeing and walking around Galway, since I didn't get to see much of the town between constantly leaving it for other things. And I really wanted to check out the Galway Cathedral. Once I had my fill of that, it was time to finally head out of Galway and move on to my next destination.
Okay, so I finally made my way out of Galway after walking around there a bit, and I'm on my way to the cliffs of Moher. And along the way, I was just driving, looking around, like passing through the villages, and then I saw a castle just in the town on the side of the road, and it looks awesome. So I wanted to pull over and take a look real quick. So it turns out you can enter the castle and do a tour inside. It's only €8, so I decided this would be kind of cool to check out. It's pretty dark in here, so I don't know what I can get on the camera, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I've never been inside a castle before, not like this at least.
While the castle was very exciting, I was eager to get to my next destination and the highlight of this day. But along the way, I couldn't help but stop and admire the beautiful Irish countryside.
I would like to welcome everybody to the cliffs of Moher. Look at that. That's not even all of them. So the cliffs are very tall. It's kind of how it was at the Aran Islands on Inishmore the other day, where yeah, there are certain spots where you can get up pretty much close to the edge, and being that close is a little dicey, especially here, because here you're not walking on like solid stone like you were at Inishmore. Here it's like grass, so you can't really tell if, you know, the ground underneath is going to be rock or not. So they have this trail here that goes basically from one nearby town to another nearby town. You can walk the whole thing. I don't know how many miles it is, but I think that's pretty cool. And you know, that'd be one hell of a hike to do with views like this. It'd be pretty amazing. I'm not going to do that because I don't have enough time, but I am going to walk to that ledge over there and see how it is, and that's about it. Then head back. All right. It is super windy. There's a spot and get pretty close to the edge over there. And these cliffs, I bet these would look amazing during sunset, just because they face west. And unfortunately, I'm not staying close enough to be able to catch them during sunset, but I think they would look amazing. I'm gonna make the short little hike back, and then we're gonna move on.
While I was editing this, I realized I did not have nearly as much footage of the cliffs of Moher as I thought I did. Either I misplaced it or simply forgot to film. But anyways, next it was time to move on to my next destination, which was the town of Killarney. It was a bit of a drive and a ferry ride to get there, but that's where I was planning on staying for the next 2 nights.
Ferry is pretty much to the other side, so I'm gonna hop back in my car and just sit here and wait for it to finish, so I'm not rushing back right at the end. Whew. Today's been not a very hectic day. A lot of driving, which I don't mind because the last couple of days I've been doing a lot of walking and bicycling, and very physical days, very active days. But that little stroll along the cliffs of Moher, that was a bit more than I intended to do today, but no, yeah, did it anyways because I really wanted to see the view and wanted to look at the cliffs and get some good pictures of them. So it was actually kind of nice to sit on the ferry here, even though it was 20 minutes, to not have to drive, because I still have another hour to get to my hotel. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna stop at a grocery store and grab some snacks. Then we'll make it to the hotel, and I think I'm just gonna take it nice and chill today, just because the last couple of days have been go, and now I'm kind of like, okay, we need at least one night where I'm just kind of like, we can take our time. You know, we got all day tomorrow. We still got plenty of days left. So tomorrow is gonna be another sort of busy-ish day, so we'll see. But that's the plan for now. This is pretty cool. I like ferries. It's kind of a little more fun than driving sometimes. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna be staying tonight. And like, look at this driveway. Look at this road in. I feel like I'm in a fairy tale. Oh my God, that's amazing. This is the spot where I'm staying today. It's a guest house. It's a Gillian Fay I'm not gonna try. Guest house, and I'm in that room up there, the little window. So, but this is so beautiful, and this whole property is just lovely. It's so peaceful and quiet, so it's kind of nice. A nice change from Galway, but yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy it. It's only a mile outside of town, so not it's within walking distance. It won't be a quick walk, but close enough, so it's pretty nice. Good morning, everybody. This is day 4, 5. I lost count. Anyways, today I'm going to drive the Ring of Kerry, which is a scenic route, and it's supposed to have some of the most beautiful views on this side of Ireland. So I'm very excited for that. The Airbnb, or sorry, not the Airbnb, the little guest house that I'm staying at is wonderful. The hosts are amazing, and they had some really good breakfast this morning, and the whole place is just lovely and super calm and peaceful, and I absolutely love that. One of the owners, his name is Connor, and he gave me a map of basically this whole area, and it's showing me where I should be driving and what I should see while I'm out and about today. So that is what we are going to do. That's what we're going to figure out. And I had another, oh yeah, this is the map. He took the time to show it all to me and mark it down where I should stop and give me some highlights, pointers, tips, and suggestions. So that was very cool. I'm excited to go do this and have a bit of another adventure. All right, let's go. Kerry, my bad. We are at, or I'm at the Cahersveen barracks. This is the little town, and so far this drive has been absolutely beautiful. I have to like control myself from, keep myself from stopping at every possible overlook because the views from the road are amazing. You can see across the bay, you can see these mountains behind me, and everything else is just absolutely phenomenal. I'm trying to see if this barracks is open. Old building, so cool to see. And then I think I might drive out just a little ways over there, because there's like an old fort. Be kind of cool to see from there, and then we'll turn around and head back. Or not head back, continue on.
This barracks was built for the Royal Irish Constabulary following the events of the Fenian Rising in 1867. It was built to protect the transatlantic telegraph cable that flowed through the bay right behind it. While I was there, it featured exhibits showing the life of the Irish Constabulary at the time, as well as a bunch of different exhibits talking about the Fenian Rising.
Alright, basically just making my way from one historical ruin to another. Saw a really cool castle ruin. You can go up to it. It was close to the public. You can park outside of it. And I'm going to a stone fort. You can see there's also another one nearby, but that one's also close to the public, so I don't know if I'm going to walk to it or not. I might just fly the drone up and see what I can get from the top. But this one's right over here, so I'm going to check it out real quick. According to the sign back there, it can be hard to date these kinds of forts because, yeah, they just kind of building and adding to them or taking things away from them that they kind of just become dated. But they think it's sometime from the Iron Age, so it can be anywhere from 400 BC to like 500 AD. It's inside of it. It's pretty cool. They say somebody important probably lived here. Okay, so saw a few castles in the Ring Fort, and then I'm moving on further down the Ring of Kerry. But first, I wanted to stop in this town here because there's a really cool church right around the corner that I wanted to check out real quick before moving on. So beautiful. All the towns here are just so quaint. Just look at this street. Got the big church, small little streets. It's so cool. Okay, so I wanted to check out inside, but there's a wedding going on, so I am not gonna go interrupt that. So we'll just admire it from out here. That's a very beautiful, beautiful looking building. And a beautiful looking town too. So would have been cool to see inside, but you know, I'd rather not disrupt the wedding today, so we'll just leave it at that. We'll look at it from the outside. Imagine what it looks like inside. Okay, we are moving out of town. We're continuing on the Ring of Kerry. We have another small ferry crossing right over there. Another small ferry crossing just to the island that you see right over there. So short little jaunt, but the owner of the guest house suggested this is the better way to go. And then there is a road that connects the island back, but this is the more interesting way. He also recommended me a bar that I should stop at while I'm there. So I might do that before I continue with anything else, just because I'm getting hungry and I don't want to like starve like I did yesterday basically. So I'm gonna grab some food and then I might backtrack a little bit to check out the stuff on the island. So moving on, so far this day has been amazing.
Over on the other side, I was very disappointed that I was not able to fly my drone up in this spot of Fogar Cliffs because of the high winds, because the views from here were really incredible. However, I did get some footage with my regular camera and I wish I could have filmed more, but with the strong winds and kind of pressed for time, I rushed through this island a little bit faster than I was anticipating. After braving the winds, it was time to stop for lunch before heading to my final destination on the Ring of Kerry, which were the Cliffs of Kerry. While not as prominent as the Cliffs of Moher, the Kerry Cliffs were still just as amazing. Once again, the winds prevented me from flying the drone or really sticking around for too long because the winds felt like they were getting much stronger. So I decided it was time to head back to my guest house, but not before I stopped a couple of times to take in the beautiful sunset right along the coast. The second quick stop for today is the Gap of Dunloe, and it is just 20 minutes outside of Killarney. That's one of the places I was hoping to maybe have time to see yesterday, but daylight ran out. So I'm just taking a little walk to the bridge that's here. It's about a kilometer in, and then back to the parking lot, just kind of get a little glimpse of the gap. The actual top of the gap is clear on the other side, and while you can drive this, it is not really recommended because it's super narrow and there's a lot of foot traffic and horse traffic here. So it's better just to either walk
a ride. Also just realized that I left my camera in the trunk of my car because I set it down to put something in this bag and then left it there, and just realized it now when I'm pretty much halfway through. So I guess we're just sticking to the phone for this little bit. It's a little unfortunate, but oh well. Alright, we are back down at the Cape Kearney Cottage here. It's just at the head of the, or end of the gap of Dunloe. Just got some coffee and some little pastry, give myself a little snack. And now I'm gonna make my way down to Futhered on the Sea, which is about 3 hours away from here. And oh man, I cannot get used to these tight parking spaces. But yeah, it's a town near Waterford, so small little village, a little further away, a little further down. But I don't know, to me it seemed like a good idea to kind of stay in like a small little village, because so many of them here are so like quaint and cute and all that stuff. So I thought it'd be kind of fun. Plus it's right on the coast, so maybe get some pretty views, especially with like the sunset, because it's over on the kind of like southwestish side, more eastish I guess, but we'll see when we get there. But I thought that'd be more fun. Plus it's kind of in between here and Dublin. So tomorrow, when I'm heading up to Dublin, I only have about a 2-hour drive. I think tomorrow I'm just gonna head straight there to try and drop off my at least my big suitcase at the hotel, have them hold it while I take the car back to the airport, and then come back into Dublin to stay at the hotel. So we'll see. Today I really want to try and take it easy. I'm not very good at that, but we'll try our best and kind of just pretty much drive to the guest house. Maybe if I see some interesting things along the way, I'll stop, but for the most part we're gonna drive straight there. Maybe stop in Cork and check that out real quick. But yeah, today's just kind of a free balling it. We're just figuring out as we go, so we'll see how that goes.
Apparently, I'm not very good at taking it slow and easy, because I saw a sign for a very cool castle that I just had to check out.
Okay, so I was driving along, I saw a sign for Blarney Castle, and that's right behind me. And this is the gardens, and it's a 600-year-old castle and structure, and this whole area basically has stuff about that old or older. So I decided to stop and check it out, and turns out it's actually a big attraction that I had no idea. So I'm kind of glad I stopped, and now I'm just gonna walk around, check it out, and be on my way again.
What I thought was going to be a quick stop along my way to the southern part of Ireland turned out to be something that took up most of my day, but I was very happy for it.
So apparently the tradition here is to kiss the stone at the top of the tower. It's supposed to bestow upon you the gift of eloquence. I don't think I'm going to do that because, one, kissing a stone that a bunch of other people kiss sounds kind of gross. And two, I heard the line can be quite long. I'm not going to take time to do that, but we will explore the inside of the castle. Look at this. This is so cool. going up the stairs to the stone. I'm not gonna kiss it still, but I just wanted to see more of the castle. Made it to the top of the castle. That's where the kissing stone is. I didn't want to kiss it. And yeah, so view from the top. Not much roof left. You can see down into the courtyard. And going up that narrow little flight of stairs is pretty fun, I'll say. It's kind of cool just to see how old it is. It's 600 years. I mean, that's a pretty good bit of time. So. Yeah, that's pretty cool. This was a good pit stop. Made my way into the family room of the castle. There were floors here at one point. They're all gone. I'm standing in the fireplace. It's pretty gnarly in here. There's that. And the rest of the castle. So this is where they would just chill, hang out, gather, talk, gossip, do all the usual things. Lord over the people. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's what the castle originally looked like. So we were basically just looking down from the roof through all the floors because they're all gone. It's pretty cool. I'm glad I went up, even though I had to wait in the line as well. But it's kind of cool to see the view from the top, the entire village. So I'm gonna walk around a little bit more and then make my way to my hotel because I kind of just, like I said, want to take it easy today.
Once I was done at the castle, I wanted to take a minute to explore the beautiful gardens outside of it. The gardens felt like I entered a fairy tale. They were so lush, they were so green, and they were so beautiful. And while editing this, I realized that I really didn't record much footage beyond this. So we're gonna move on to the next day.
Okay, good morning. It's my coming down to my last 2 full days here in Ireland, and first stop today is the Hook Lighthouse. They are doing tours. Next one starts in about 15 minutes. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that one or not yet. Just because, yeah, I gotta drive all the way to Dublin. It's about 2 hours today, and yeah, just want to get there a bit early so I can go return the car, get situated and all that stuff. So I think, but starting out, we're gonna drive around the Hook Peninsula here in Southern Ireland and basically just see some more ruins and some more like old heritage sites, which has probably been my favorite part of this trip so far. Like, it's just cool seeing so many old things. I'm gonna do that and then just straight shot to Dublin. So I'm gonna spend a couple hours here on the Hook Peninsula and then head out. Here's the guy that built this lighthouse. Good for him. So this town is called Templetown, and according to this plaque here near this church, this actually used to be the kind of a headquarters of the Knights Templar back in the 12th, 13th century, or 14th century, so 1300s. After they were disbanded, this land was given to the knights. What does it say here? Knights Hospitallers, who built this here church with guard tower, and now it's here as a ruin. This is so cool, and the rain finally stopped, so that's kind of nice. What I find interesting that some of these ruins, I mean, they have like a sign out front saying what it is and why it's here, but there's no like a visitor center. There's no like you can just walk in. That tower, there's still like stairs leading up to it. They're all mossy and stuff, so I don't know how safe it is, but you can just walk in.
After the stop at Templetown, my road to Dublin took me through the town of Duncannon, where I was hoping to check out a really cool looking old fort. However, due to my schedule and due to the schedule of the tours, I wasn't able to do that. However, I was able to get the drone up and get some cool shots of the town and the fort near it.
Pulled over to get some gas and to use the restroom, and this town just has this right in the middle of it. This is so cool. Like, I just love running into these like ruins. I'm sure the people here just it's like an everyday thing. They're just here. But to me, this is so cool. So, I made it to Dublin. My last 2 days in Ireland will be here, or last 2 nights. I have 1 full day tomorrow, which everyone said it's kind of all you need for Dublin. So I'm gonna do that. So I got a nice bed to sleep. This is the place. That's it. It's super snug in here, but very shit. Look at that storage cubbies, got hooks, shelves. It's actually kind of nice for right downtown. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab some food. I think I'm just gonna wrap up today. Didn't do a lot, just did the Hook Peninsula, a couple of sites there, and then dropped my car off at the rental place, and then now I'm in Dublin. So I'm gonna go grab some lunch or dinner at this point, probably some drinks, and yeah. Tomorrow is going to be a day full of touristy sightseeing, which sounds like a great way to wrap up my trip. Anyways, I'll see you all in the morning. Okay, last day in Ireland and the full day in Dublin. I'm going to start off with the Trinity College. I'm pretty much right in the middle of all the tourist places, so it's kind of nice because I can just mostly walk everywhere. But I did buy a 24-hour hop-on, hop-off bus tour. That's what everyone recommended to do. It makes it easier to get around and stuff, plus you get to learn along the way. But so far, this town the city is really cool. It feels this very like industrial look to it. You can feel like it's old. It's been around here for a very long time. Judging by like the buildings and just everything, how it's laid out, it's super cool. Yeah, so I'm excited to see more of it. And about an hour, I'm gonna be at the Guinness Storehouse because I booked a tour there, touristy thing. But I'm very excited for it. So. I'm gonna learn how to pour the perfect pint of Guinness.
The storehouse tour concluded with a pint of Guinness and some panoramic views of the city of Dublin from the top of the storehouse. After sitting there for a minute, I made my way back towards Trinity College to visit the library and see the Book of Kells. The library at Trinity College was absolutely breathtaking. However, most places asked you not to take any photos or videos, especially in the part with the Book of Kells. So I kind of just strolled through and enjoyed the scenery. After the library, I was able to finally hop on that hop-off bus tour and enjoy some sights of the city before turning in for the night and hitting some pubs, grabbing some dinner, and enjoying my last night in Dublin. The next morning before heading towards the airport, there was one last place I wanted to see, and that was the Christchurch Cathedral. I got a glimpse of it the day before and it looked absolutely beautiful, so I knew I had to go take a peek inside before finally heading home. And thus, my Ireland adventure has come to an end. It was a beautiful, beautiful country to see, and I had such an amazing time. And a year later, this video is finally done. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you in the next one.